This bike can climb anything, or at least that's the plan. It has a preposterously low gear paired with a gearbox and the fattest production tires of any bicycle, which we can air down to no end. It should perform like a two-wheeled rock crawler if I can stay up. We're gonna test that today, but first let's take a closer look at what makes this bike so ridiculous. As you can see, it's got this really, really low gear. That's a 74 tooth cog that I had custom made at a machine shop. You saw it in another video where we did some towing, but it's lower geared now thanks to that pinion gearbox. Way lower geared, I can barely stay up on the thing. Then of course there are the tires, which are 6.2 inches wide. These climb great as it is, and they have lots of knobs everywhere, but we can air them down to like 1 or 2 PSI, and it'll be like a rock crawler. A couple of years ago, I went to the off-road games in Utah and drove rock crawlers, and it's all about finessing. It's all about modulating the throttle so that you can maintain traction and finesse your way up obstacles. That's something you can't normally do on a bike because it's all about cranking and momentum. And every time you take a crank, you run the risk of breaking traction. I think today we're in for a different experience. Let's start slow and ramp it up. This stone staircase over here, I could climb on just about any mountain bike, but I would need momentum. Come at it with speed and yank up to get up. If I were doing it slowly, it would be a fool's errand. Let's see how the Moonlander does with the super low gear. Just point and shoot, right? I knew that would happen because my tires are aired up. Let's air them down and see what type of difference it makes. A common mantra among fat tire bicycle enthusiasts is that if the tire's not wrinkling, your air pressure is not low enough. Okay, that might be low enough. We can always let out more. Let's give it a try. I might have went a little too hard in the front. This never happens. That worked exactly how I imagined it in my mind. Exactly. And actually, this is a vastly better experience than that towing bicycle we made because it's got a gearbox and I can shift up and actually get up to a usable speed. And so just pedaling around on this thing isn't ridiculously, preposterously slow. It's not fast either. But when I go into that really, really low gear, as long as I can keep the bike up, it'll just go up anything I point it at. Now there's something else working to our advantage. The length of the bike, the wheelbase. This is a mid-tail. If you look at it compared to your bike, this wheel is pretty far away from that seat tube. That gives us more stability and makes it so I'm not just flipping backwards. Let's climb some more stuff. What about straight up this? This is something else I need a lot of momentum for on normal bike. Yeah, it's almost a 45-degree angle. I think it might be possible. I lost my balance. It's about staying up at this point. The tire pressure is way too high. All right, point it straight and stay up. I'm gonna get it. Should we let out more air? This is low. This is like not even 1 PSI. It is a little bit loose on one spot there. Let's try to clean her anyway, and if not, we'll find something a little grippier. Okay, now we're talking. That was a lot closer. So I forgot to mention, in order to get this gear to not hit into the seat stay, I had to get the chain line not quite perfect. All right, let's give her another go. Traction. So assuming you have traction and the ground underneath you is not getting washed away, I think you can climb up anything. All right, Next up, I've ridden over this before. Clearly, lots of people have been riding over it at speed. You get a little momentum from there, boop, no problem. But I've never been able to climb up this slowly, so let's give it a shot. That was me trying to avoid the cryptobiotic soil. Yeah! I did it clean and I kept the environmentalists happy. I don't see any reason why I can't do it backwards. It just hooks up and pushes up here. It's a really weird feeling, but like I said, the biggest challenge is just staying upright. So I gotta turn this way. Whew. Whew. And then my pedal crashes into the rock. We got a problem here. It was off camera. I did something really stupid. I dented my rim straight in and it's not holding air anymore. So on a bike like this, there are no inner tubes, they're just sealant. If I had an inner tube, the inner tube would have definitely blown from that. It would have been a snake bite flat. But because there's sealant, it's trying to seal up that hole. And so if I keep running air into the tire with a pump and just keep bouncing the tire around and splashing the sealant, it might seal up, but that's a pretty big dent in a rim wall that's so small. And so luck is not on our side. So I'm gonna see if I can get it to hold some air, enough for me to like ride around and get the sealant splashing. And we'll see if it'll like continue holding. This is not good. We are not close to the trailhead. It's coming out a lot right here, so I'm gonna try a tire plug. I'm pretty much just desperate at this point. I didn't bring a 6.2-inch inner tube. There's no actual hole right there, it's just a gap. Maybe I could jam it between the tire and the rim. This might be making it better. All right, I was able to tie the electric pump to the inside of the wheel, and so I'm just gonna keep it running and try and ride back. If you consider all the context, this is one of the dumbest situations I've ever gotten myself into. I don't know how long this pump's battery is gonna last. Okay. If I just had these with me, we'd probably be fine. Let me get some vice grips. Let's see if she holds air. Maybe we'll put a little more sealant in. Good as new. Now, there was something else I wanted to do with this, but I'm not exactly prepared to do it today, and so I want to know your thoughts. We had a ramp that was made of grip tape. It doesn't have grip tape on it anymore. Actually, it has Velcro on it. That video was short-lived. It never saw the light of day. I wrapped my tires with Velcro, and then I covered a ramp in Velcro, and then I wanted to climb it with a really low gear. I think this is gonna work. Long story short, it didn't work. Seemed like a really good idea. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, the first thing we learned is that you should never leave home without these. Doing stupid stuff, bike tools are not gonna cut it. But we also learned that that was a really, really good idea. It worked exactly like I thought it would. As long as there was traction, as long as it was rock, we could just kind of pedal slowly up it with very little effort. But being that this bike has the wheelbase to remain stable, it has the traction, we can air it down, and it certainly has the torque, it'd be interesting to see how steep we could really climb if conditions are perfect. Let me know what you think. I hope you learned something today, and if you didn't, well, I hope you at least found this entertaining. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time. squirming everywhere. We are not doing good, folks.